blue or red, the best app to bet football is Circus Sports Kentucky. Circus Sports is sports betting the way it should be, with high betting limits, the lowest holds, and exceptional customer service. Bet on all your favorite teams at every game this season, whether it's point spreads, props, futures, or in-game. Circus Sports is the place to bet football. Fun and bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com.
W223CV Lexington.
ESPN Sports Radio 1392.5. W.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Hello?
Yeah, you're good.
Well, I
Gotcha.
second, and now, geez, dude.
What?
It just says Alan's phone, but I don't see my picture.
Yeah, you don't have your camera on.
I haven't touched anything. How do I turn the camera on?
I just asked you to, so it should just be clicking a button.
I hit OK. There it is.
Yep.
I didn't touch anything, but it doesn't matter. Okay,
Yeah.
so what are you playing in the Open?
The
Play-by-play?
Ford catch and Burrow saying it was dope or sick or whatever it was he said.
Great, that's perfect.
All right, we're in it now. I mean, we're in the string of stuff.
Cool.
To the chase, Victor Espinoza to win it.
Continue doing what you're doing. You're really good at it.
Be nice, America. Let's have a great day.
Win number 9, that's the future. That's the only goal I have.
They look like kittens more than wildcats, in my opinion.
Hello, Mark. Mr. Pope, 1996.
Oh, my gosh.
What?
Hey, let's give it up right here. This is my guy. Yes. I'm so happy to see you.
Hey, gratitude is a skill, guys. But if you practice, it will give you a joyful life regardless of your circumstances.
Offensive lineman is split out to the bottom of your screen. Burrow looking that direction. It's Ford. Big man on the run. Rumbling down the sidelines and inside the 5.
Couldn't believe what I was watching, but it was sick.
No Filter Radio with Alan Cutler, brought to you by Quantrell Auto Group. QuantrellForLife.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Alan Cutler. Honored and pleased to be with you. So happy to have a little time off to rest my throat, which still isn't 100%. But then again, most days I'm not 100% either. I miss doing this, but for a couple days it was good to R and R. Got a good show lined up. As always, we're very fortunate with the guests that we have. Sean Woods, Chris Chenault, Darryl Bird. Lovely, lovely lineup of guests. And I don't know if you saw the Ford catch. I was actually listening on the radio on our FM station, which carries the games. And I was going, wow, he's 350 pounds. And he could dunk in high school. And he's an offensive lineman and a really good guy. And they put in a goofy play, and it worked. And as Burrow said, I can't believe it. And by the way, he wasn't the first option. Duh. He was supposed to go to Chase, his buddy, who has an outside shot of breaking the all-time record for most catches in a season, which is his record. And he says he's probably not going to be able to do it, which is fine. He could. He's had games which he could top that, but he's going to have double-digit catches to do it. Anyway, the point is Chase wasn't open, threw it to Ford. And we might play the soundbite from Ford later when he talked about there was no way I could let one guy tackle me. Because if one guy tackled me, guess what? I'd never live it down in the locker room, the clubhouse. And it's interesting how the Bengals are playing so well now that they're eliminated. They're loosey-goosey. Although in the Arizona case, that's got to be one of the worst defensive teams I've seen in a long time. They're awful. They've quit. They've absolutely quit. No heart, no hustle, no nothing. Period. Oh, it's a bad team. It's a really bad team, but the Bengals are playing well, and they're having fun even though they're out of it. One other NFL note before we get into UK stuff. I was watching the Buffalo game last night, and that was just a hell of a game with Philly. I mean, look, if that was a playoff game, you'd say it was a great playoff game. And they're being shut out, and Allen then brings them back. And because of an extra point that was missed, they had a choice: go for 2 and win the game, or kick an extra point and continue. And I agreed 1,000% with the decision to kick the extra point because everybody's dog tired. They are. They just are. And asking guys to play another quarter or many minutes is difficult. And so Buffalo doesn't get the 2 points, okay? And then I'm watching Fox. And I got to tell you, some of those guys I respect, Sean, I don't know how to say this. They're idiots. Oh, I would have kicked the extra point and move on. I would have done this. Oh, it was a bad decision. Shut up. I can't stand stupid Monday morning quarterback decisions. It was the right decision. Allen missed a wide open receiver. You expect him to make that about 9.8 times out of 10. It was an easy throw for him. Not for me, not for Sean, but for him. And he missed. And so you made the good call. Your guy is wide open. One of the great quarterbacks in football in the last 15 years misses a guy, and you have some Fox analysts who are making seven figures saying, yeah, I would have kicked the extra point. How stupid is that? You had the right play, you had the right quarterback, and it just didn't work. Look, I've said this a number of times. You can make the right decision, and it turns out right. You can make the right decision, and it turns out wrong. You can make the wrong decision, and it turns out right, and you can make the wrong decision, and it turns out wrong. That was absolutely unequivocally the right decision. Period. And, oh, my gosh. I'm watching Fox Sports, and I like those guys. And they were a bunch of dumbasses. Anybody who said we should have kicked the extra point, that Buffalo should have kicked the extra point. No. You have a receiver wide open, and Allen missed it. Some of these things that people make, as far as the decision is concerned, it's batty. It's stupid. It's just stupid. It just didn't work. The guy was wide open. To Kentucky. We're getting close to D-Day. Now, whether anything happens on the 2nd or before, if anybody knows if Carter Bowley is absolutely coming back or not coming back, I'd like to know who it is. I would. This is what I can tell you, and this is what I've been saying. It's really pretty simple. Sloan, the new offensive coordinator, said you need to have 4 quarterbacks. That's pretty standard to have 4 on scholarship. They got 3. They're going to bring in 1. Now, what level will that quarterback be? Will it be a junior college transfer? Will it be a high school kid? Will it be a kid who started on a lower level? Will it be somebody who's coming from a big school? I don't have any idea. Don't have any idea. It's a pretty simple equation. It's pretty simple. If Cutter was absolutely unequivocally, beyond the shadow of a doubt, the guy, I believe he'd already have signed. Let me repeat, and I said this last week. If Cutter was absolutely unequivocally the guy, I think he would have signed by now. What do I think Stein and his staff are doing? I think they're doing what they do in every position. They're trying to recruit over the players that are here now. Period. If they get someone that they deem is better than Cutter, do I think Cutter's going to be here? No. Do I know that? No. It's a pretty simple deal. No matter what Cutter does, no matter what Stein does, I will always believe this. You hired a man, that's Stein. He's got to make his decisions, okay? So if it's deemed that Cutter ends up leaving and you say, well, I want him to stay, the new coach, what the hell is he doing? To that, I would say, you got to shut up. He's either the coach or he's not the coach. The guy is a quarterback guru. He's brought in an offensive coordinator, Sloan, who's a quarterback guru. It's pretty simple. Now, do these people make mistakes? Sure. Joe Burrow's dad, who was a defensive coordinator in college, told Joe not to get down because coaches, when he was at Ohio State, often make bad decisions. They do. Am I talking out of both sides of my mouth? I am not. Everybody makes bad decisions. Money talks. Let me throw out simple figures, and I know nothing. I'm giving you BS numbers. It's the split. Suppose they offer Cutter $500,000. I'm just doing, and I'm telling you, I'm making up numbers right now. And you bring in a quarterback for $1.5 million, and you tell Cutter, I'd like for you to stay. He's out of his mind if he stays. Again, these are just bogus numbers I'm making up. It's the point of money. If you're paying somebody $1.5 million, 2 things. 1, he ain't coming here unless he thinks he's going to start. 1. 2, you've invested more in that person than Cutter. 3, I don't care who you are, whether it's Cutter or another quarterback, at that point in your career, you got to play. You got to play. I know nothing, but Cutter would be better off taking less money if he had to go someplace and start. Period. I've always believed that. This is not new. This has nothing to do with Cutter. So I am telling you, we don't know. We don't know. Basically, anybody who's coming back, if a decision is made, word should have leaked by now. Sometimes it's quiet. Larry Vaught broke the story that Ty Bryant is coming back. Ty wanted to come back. He's happy to come back. He had other choices. I know this is that Bateman and Stein were really strong in talking to Ty about really wanting him, and that's what he wanted to hear. He's the best player in the team. He's the best player in the team last year. He's a great kid, smart kid, going to play in the NFL. I said that when he was in high school before he came here. He's wrapped up. But Cutter's a different story. You don't bring in a quarterback, and if you're paying them more money than Cutter, and I don't want to hear this is open competition. Because how many times did I say last year that this open competition thing that Stoops was saying was just BS? I harped on that so many times it's not even funny. It's pretty simple. Now, if you have ones and twos, although Stein says there really isn't going to be ones and twos, he's going to move people around and all that kind of stuff, and let's see if he does it that way. And I'm betting he does because that's what he said until he says something that turns out not to be true. I'm going to believe everything he says. Seriously. I'm going to get into something that Pope said that was just BS. And I hope the people from UK are listening, pass it on to Pope. And I'm right about what I'm going to tell you about Pope. And by the way, I love Pope, okay? But he's been here long enough, and coaches do coaches' things. Coaches do what coaches things. Back to Cutter. I don't want to get on that tangent yet. We don't know. One, I absolutely believe that Cutter wants to be here. I absolutely believe that Cutter wants to be the number one quarterback. I absolutely believe that if Cutter's not the starting quarterback next year, he's a fool for staying here. You can disagree with that. You can say, I'm a Kentucky boy. He needs to be here. You know what? It's not your son. He's not my son. You got to play. You got to get snaps. And that decision will be made the second Cutter finds out either the name or the amount of money, if he can find out, probably can, what they're bringing somebody in for. It's a pretty simple deal. It really is. But it's not done yet. And if you're saying, well, the portal opens on January 2nd, I stop it. Offers have been going on forever. Forever. And the amount of money being thrown out to some of these kids just amazes me. And I still have in the back of my head when Mitch said, we're not going to cheat. Really? How are you going to get players? How are you going to get players? Great, you can do deals. Okay, great. You mean to tell me there'll be some schools that'll be paying $3 and $4 million for quarterbacks? Because that is going to happen. Didn't say it's going to happen here at Kentucky, but it is going to happen. You mean to tell me there'll be players that get $3-4 million and that's going to be from commercials? I doubt it. I doubt it. Is that going to be from endorsements? I doubt it. Come on, think about it. And as I said from the get-go, somebody who plays basketball for St. John's has a better opportunity of making more money, let's say, from a car dealership, because car commercials in New York on TV cost tons more than it does in Lexington or Boise. It's an unfair advantage. It's the market. So this thing about Mitch saying we're not going to cheat, I have no idea how he said that with a straight face. Either doesn't know what's going on, and Mitch, somebody in your office wants to call and tell me I'm wrong, bring it on. I'd love to have you on the air. It's just not true. There are kids being offered millions of dollars to play football next year. There are kids who made millions of dollars to play football this year. Everybody? No. Some, yes. Majority? Hell no. No. No, but you're not getting it from the 22 million that's being split up to all these sports, and you're not getting it from commercials and endorsements and stuff. You're not. It's such a charade. It's such BS. So I don't know if he's coming back. I will tell you this. Every day that it continues, I'm going to say at best, Sean, you can hold me to this, at best it's 50-50 that Cutter comes back. At best. Would I like for him to be the quarterback next year? Absolutely. Absolutely. And in reality, guess what? If you know football, and I think the majority of my audience right now has a quick understanding of what I'm going to say. whoever ends up coming in, by just hearing the name, you should know if Cutter's going to stay or not. In all probability. In all probability. So we'll see. Okay, let's go to what Pope said. Pope has a media session tomorrow at noon, and we will have that live. And he's got his coach's show tonight, which I will listen to. And he said, I gave this a lot of thought, and maybe I haven't thought of something better, but to me, it's the most ridiculous thing he said since he's become head coach at the University of Kentucky. He was asked when JQ didn't play a lot the other day, why? And he said it wasn't a good matchup. For who? For who? Seriously, think about it. If he played 20 minutes, he could have scored 20 points. How is that a bad matchup for him? Seriously. JQ makes matchups for everybody else tough to close to impossible. So when he said that, wow. Mark, you're better than that. You are. It's a bad matchup for him? Really? You're 6'9", 255, less body fat in his whole body than I have in my nose. He's a monster. There's nobody in Bellarmine that could stay with him. Now, if you want to not play much because you say, yeah, you know, he played enough the other day and we'll wait till Alabama or whatever the hell it is. But it was a disingenuous comment. And you know what? Let me be fair to Pope. He ain't perfect. I ain't perfect. It's a ridiculous comment. It really was a ridiculous comment. And so I'm as curious as you. How are they going to do against Alabama? I can't wait to see. Can't wait to see. A little tidbit that I love. Wan'Dale Robinson, holy mackerel. Holy mackerel. He's topped 1,000 yards on the season. And if you recall, when he started playing for the Giants, he was only a possession receiver. And in many ways, he still is. And I still don't think they're using him properly, even though he's got over 1,000 yards. I think he can go downfield and beat you deep. He's got 92 catches for over 1,000 yards. So he's expanded his game. He's a great receiver. Not a good one, a great receiver. By the way, he's already got like 375 catches. He'll top 450 next year. It's pretty interesting. And how about the Giants? You know, I grew up a Giants fan, and they suck. So I've suffered. This is the second time in the last few years, but by winning a game, they lose the number one pick at basically the end of the season. Yeah, this one more game, but that's fine. So by winning, they cost themselves a draft pick. But you can't throw in the towel. I've never bought that crap at all. But I just find it interesting that twice in the last few years, they have lost it. Little congratulations to Kentucky women's basketball. They beat Hofstra 80-42. Hofstra stinks. That's fine. It's a cupcake. But Clara Strack, 24, not surprising. 11 rebounds, not surprising. 7 blocks, 2 assists, 2 steals. They're 13-1. I'm going to be curious to see if they, and if you see it before me, Sean, I'm guessing probably in the 1 o'clock hour, if they move up, they're 11th. And let's see if they move up. By the way, Carol, the freshman guard, okay, she had 9 points and 5 rebounds, but that wasn't the big thing for me. She's a hell of a shooter. She knocked down a couple threes. She's had at least 2 threes in 4 games this year. Here's the point that's, I think, big. I get it that they're playing a cupcake, but it's the first time she was the first player in off the bench. And I wonder if that's going to be a trend. This is a really talented freshman. And I wonder if that's what coach is doing to bring her along. Say, okay, now you're ready. Now you're ready. I'm very curious about that. Very curious. This will tick people off. Shaden Sharp yesterday had 26 points. You know he's averaging 22 points a game? And he had a dunk last week that, was it number 1 or number 2 on ESPN? And I know people will always be down on him. I get it. And I've said it ad nauseum. I never blame the kid for not playing. It was his people. You know what's interesting? Portland was thinking about not giving him an extension. I think it ended up being like $90 million. And a lot of times in the NBA, you're not really happy with the guy. You don't want to give him a maximum contract, which is obviously what he wanted, didn't get close to it, but you don't want to just give him up. So you're gambling $90 million that it'll work out. That's what the hell it is, because you weren't sure that you wanted to keep him. You don't want to give them away. And now it looks like at this point, the $90 million, if this continues, will be cheap by NBA standards. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting? By the way, I can't stand this. I really can't. I just can't. The Greek Freak, Giannis. Sean, did you see it? He ended the game the other day with a ferocious breakaway dunk from Milwaukee, who's been underachieving, and there've been all these rumors about him, being traded. And he says, "I wear the uniform every day I'm here. I'm going to give it my best." Do I think there's something to these rumors? I absolutely do, by the way. Do I know for sure? I do not. You know what I can't stand, Sean? See if you agree with me. So Milwaukee wins. Now Vukovic, big, strong man, is ticked off because you dunked the ball. You're insulting us. Shut the hell up. I am so sick of this crap that if somebody scores late, matter of fact, when Kentucky did it, big deal. Didn't bother me. And I was perfectly honest the first time this came up with the Kentucky thing, where Pope said, "I'm sorry," and stuff like that, which he shouldn't have done, but I get why he did it. And I respect why he did, because it's Pitino. You don't want to start anything. It's one thing if a coach tells a player to go dunk. Pope would never do that. And because of his respect to Pitino, he kind of was trying to diffuse the situation, which was really smart on Mark Pope's point. Here's what I can't stand, and I'm not going to be a hypocrite. When I got here in the 80s, and especially Steve Superior would run it up on Kentucky on purpose because he couldn't stand Bill Curry, and I would say, what a wimpy thing that is to do, and it's not classy. I'm allowed to change my mind. I don't know if you do, but I am. At the time, I thought it was a lousy thing to do. I changed my mind a long time ago. You're the third-string quarterback. You're getting the play. You can get it, score a touchdown. You know what? Go score the touchdown. If the defense can't stop you, that's on the defense's fault. And so this whole thing is disingenuous, right? St. John's is upset that Kentucky had a dunk at the end of the game. Shut up. Why don't you do a better job defensively during the game? Shut the hell up. Really. And the same thing with Vukovic. You couldn't beat Milwaukee, so now you're going to say, "Hey, you shouldn't be doing that." Shut the hell up. Really, shut up. While the game is going on, do what you can. Don't be illegal. Don't be dirty. Don't be anything like that. If you can score, score. You want to score, score. Suppose Giannis felt comfortable with that dunk. Suppose he was telling his teammates, "I'm in. I'm all here." Maybe it was a message for his teammates. I think it was, by the way. And his quote after the game, and this, I saw it, but it really sounds like him. Not only said it, "We fight for our life right now." That's a quote. And he says, "I don't really care what Vukovic thinks. I don't care." And he said, "If we have to get our hands dirty, so be it. So be it." I love it. This is competition. Shut the hell up. Sean, if you're beating me by 24 points and the buzzer's about to hit and you can dunk on me, you know what? Dunk on me. Because guess what? I'm not good enough to stop you. I'm not good enough to stop you. One more on that. I'd love for there's been rumors about this. How much is true or not, I don't know. There's a guy named Jose Alvarado. Odds are most of you haven't heard of him. That's fine. I'm not being condescending. He's a little guy from Georgia Tech, not drafted. He's tougher than crap. He is so tough, it's ridiculous. A really smart, heady point guard. For some reason, it's been out there in New Orleans. We trade him for the right you-know-what. I'd love for him to be with the Knicks. Love for him. So they're playing against Mark Williams, who's like from Duke and 7 feet tall. And I don't know who started it. I don't know, because you don't know what's being said. It could have been then. It could have been your early game. I have no idea. All I know is whoever said something, Williams took his forearm and didn't slam him, but kind of pushed him away. So Jose went after him hard, went after him really hard. So Jose, even though Williams, who's 7 feet, did the first physical move, Jose, because he was swinging, gets suspended 2 games, and Williams, a 7-footer, 1 game. Because it was more than, Williams is a big, strong man. By the way, I really like him. I love his potential, by the way. I don't care. He's from Duke. And I don't know what the hell goes on. I don't know who's right, who's right. Jose Alvarado is a feisty you-know-what. Takes the ball, the bucket, is fearless. So I'd love for the Knicks to have him. Sean, what do you think? You think I'm nuts with that? You know what? If you can dunk on me at the end of the game, so be it. If you're up 34-0 and you got the third string quarterback and your fourth string tailback in, and that fourth string tailback who's sweated in August, who's sweated in July, who's done all these things in practice, doesn't get a chance to play, you're at the 1 yard line. If that kid can score, let him score. Let him feel good about himself. It might be the only time he gets a score. And the other team, shut the hell up. Just shut up. Do a better job playing defense. We've turned into a bunch of wimpy asses. I'm telling you, we are so wimpy. Oh, guess what? Giannis, you dunked at the end of the game. I'm 750. I'm going to get in your face. Shut up. Okay, I'll take a breath. Go ahead, Sean.
No, it's unwritten rules. I hate unwritten rules. Just hate them. All sports. Baseball's the worst about it, but basketball, football, don't score when you're up big. Hell with that. You're getting paid. You're getting paid to score points. You're that four-string guy. You're getting paid a lot less than you want to. Open some eyes. Score points.
I feel bad for that four-string tailback. Maybe he's a walk-on, right?
Yeah.
Who works just as hard as the regular guys, and this is your one chance maybe in your entire career. And by the way, if you think this is an aberration, these things happen. Or you're a third-string tailback, and guess what? You're not a walk-on. And you get to score, and your mom and dad are in the stands, and your girlfriend's in the stands, and, oh, no, let's take a knee because we're not trying to tick off the other team. We've become so wimpy. It's ridiculous, Sean. It's just ridiculous. You know what? The kid at St. John's ought to be ashamed of himself. And if I'm Patino, I'm screaming at that kid after the game. Instead of you getting mad at that dunk, why don't you do a better job playing defense for 40 minutes? Why don't you do a better job defense? You agree 1,000% with me, don't you?
Yeah, and it was the exception of Spurrier. Spurrier took great delight in needling Kentucky.
Hey, he wasn't needling. It was worse than that.
Yeah.
Do you know the story about that?
About him and Curry?
Yeah, Curry didn't keep him on his staff.
Yeah.
So, and he just doesn't forget. And you know what? That's his right not to forget. He's a surly, sarcastic, blank, blank, blank. He probably doesn't like Bill Curry to this day. Maybe he's softened a little bit.
Probably not.
And if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. And by the way, it turned out to be a mistake by Curry, which he later figured out.
Turned out to be a mistake by Kentucky hiring Curry.
You know, I will always say, if the defensive coordinator from Alabama and the offensive coordinator from Alabama, who he thought were coming with him, came, I think Curry would have been successful.
Yeah, it would have been different.
And Homer Smith was the offensive, don't look it up, I remember. Homer Smith was the offensive coordinator for Alabama, and he was never coming. But I did the exclusive at the Hyatt Hotel downtown, standing in the corner with my cameraman, getting tipped off that he was coming in, and he walks in with his entourage, Bill Curry, and I got an interview with him. As a matter of fact, his line was, well, if you got the scoop that good, I'll give you an interview. And by the way, it's not like I did a 20-minute interview. I asked him about 5 questions, and I was done. Come on, what else are you going to ask? But right behind him was Dale Lindsey, his defensive coordinator. And they offered him, I believe, a 3-year contract, and he turned it down. And I will always believe that because the coordinators he ended up hiring weren't as good. And I was wrong about Bill Curry. I thought he was going to do a hell of a job here. I was wrong. It happens. It happens. Yeah, I'm late. I want to do one more. Sal Stewart. I love Sal Stewart. I love his potential. He was a stud in the minor leagues. And when he came up, let's put it this way. I'm going to say something stupid right now. You ready? He will hit more than 25 home runs next year in his first full season with the Reds. And I actually think he's going to hit 30 plus. Manny Machado is his basically godfather. He's been training with Manny since he's like 12, 13 years old. You know what I love that he did? When he came up, in one of the shows I talked about, I think he's heavy. And I have a simple rule. If I can see that you're heavy in a baseball uniform, when you take your shirt off, you're fat. Because the way the uniforms are, they're really good in hiding fat. But at a certain point, you can't hide it. And I said he's heavy. And I said I think he needs to lose weight. He says he's lost 26 pounds. So when everyone says the Reds need a hitter, and they do, I think he's going to be one of the hitters. And I have such great respect for Stewart. Great respect. Seriously, I'm all in on this young man. All in like crazy. Like crazy. I don't know where the hell I'm going to play him, but he better get 550 at-bats. But I just want to throw that out there with all the negative stuff about the Reds and what they haven't done, and I agree with so much of it. It's not either here or there. The fact that he's lost 26 pounds, woo, and if Steer's shoulder is healthy, their lineup might be a little better than people think. Maybe. They still need to make another move, but that's neither here nor there. Unbelievable. Don't dunk at the end of games. Really, you shouldn't do that. Shut up. I'd like to know if there's a single person out there who disagrees with that. Call Sean up. Hey, this is the last week for This Is Beyond. It's a great deal. A great deal. In this holiday season, give the gift of adventure with Quantrell Subaru. Right now, the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event. That's the Share the Love event. Subaru will donate $250 to one of 5 big-time, amazing nonprofits, including the Hope Center. They've helped out so many at the Hope Center. And Quantrell Subaru is stepping up in a big way. They're stepping up to the plate, more than doubling that, donating a total of $550 for every new Subaru purchased or leased. That's $550 for every new Subaru purchased or leased now through January 2nd. Better hurry. Be part of the community and help make a difference during the 2025 Share the Love event at Quantrell Subaru. Learn more at QuantrellSubaru.com. Don't forget about their Volvos. We have the XC60. We love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. The hybrid, 41 miles before you use any gas. And most days, Judy doesn't use gas and then plugs it in. And we're saving money with the hybrid. I figured out the electricity, all that kind of stuff. We're saving money, and it's the best car we've had, period. Best car we've had, not even close. So whether it's Volvo, Cadillac, Subaru, check out the Quantrell family of dealerships. They are special. Darryl Bird coming up next. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM.
The Alan Cutler Show on ESPN 92.5 and 1300 AM and on the ESPN Lexington app.
offering risk management services that range from a renter's policy for your college student to home and auto coverage for your entire family. Houchins Insurance Group assures you that nobody works harder to keep you protected from life's uncertainties. Reach out to AJ Boss or Zach Bennett at 859-263-2771 to see if auto owner's insurance makes sense for you.
Stand Up to Cancer's vehicle donation program makes it easy to turn your unwanted vehicle into funding to support innovative cancer research. This research leads to new treatments for patients right now. Donate your car today. Visit standuptocancer.org/cars to learn more.
I'm Kathy Bingaman. Over the holiday, there was an attempted fraud attack. My personal banker, Mary Rose, and I networked together, and the first thing that I thought of was I have to text her. And it was just within the next few minutes, there was an entire team that came together collectively. And that's just not the type of service that you typically get from your bank.
That's Kathy's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank. Time to thrive. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Alan Cutler. This holiday season, give the gift of adventure with Quantrell Subaru. Right now, the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event. Subaru will donate $250 to one of 5 amazing nonprofits, including the Hope Center. And Quantrell Subaru is stepping up in a big way, more than doubling that, donating a total of $550 for every new Subaru purchased or leased now through January 2nd. Be part of the community and help make a difference through the 2025 Share the Love event at Quantrell Subaru. Learn more at QuantrellSubaru.com.
ESPN 92.5 and 1300. Live and local. Weekdays from 10 to 3. Get the ESPN Lexington app. Just search ESPN Sports Lexington in your app store. Back to No Filter Radio with Alan Cutler. Podcasts on Apple, Spotify, and Google. Monday through Friday.
Welcome back. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM. 92.5 FM. Shouldn't drink coffee just before coming back on the air. You'd think I'd learned by now. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been the respected editor of the Cat's Paw since before either one of our hair was turning white. You've been doing a long time, Daryl. Do a hell of a job. Hey, do you think I was going to introduce you this way? I'm as surprised as you. Daryl, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. You do a hell of a job. How are you? Who's introduced you like that? You do a lot of shows. Who would dare be stupid enough to introduce you like that?
Oh, you would. There's no question. I wouldn't call it stupid, but yeah, I would always expect the unexpected with you, sir.
Hey, we have to have a little fun.
That's right.
All right, so here's my take. And then I'm going to turn my mic off. I want you to obviously just go off. So I started this last week, and now I think it's 50-50 at best. Look, you know this. The portal's open on the 2nd. Offers have been going on forever. Forever. Sure. So, and I keep on saying, I think some people just either don't believe me or don't get it. It's just the way of the world. And cheating's going on. I know Mitch said we're not going to cheat. You can't offer somebody millions of dollars and have it come through endorsements and stuff. You just can't. It's just not the way. Cheating hasn't stopped. It's not going to stop. I don't know how to stop it. I'm not saying I want to stop it. It's not the point. It's just not the point. But it's pretty simple. You can't say there's real competition because there won't be real competition. If whatever cutter is being offered, and he has been offered, if whatever cutter is offered, they bring in a quarterback and let's say double the amount of money, then there is no quarterback competition, and Cutter's out of his mind to stay. I think Cutter wants to stay. I think he wants to be the quarterback, but I think he would be almost stupid to stay if they bring in a guy who it's pretty obvious is going to be the number one, and he's going to be the number 2. Daryl Bird, what say you?
You nailed it 100% correct. To me, I know what's coming. Well, for one, it depends. He's going to bring in another quarterback. He's crazy if he doesn't. The question, as you just said, is it clearly, this guy's the starter, or is this guy clearly a backup or whatever? That's going to be a huge determination on it. But this notion that it will get spun by saying, yes, we brought in someone else, compete for the job. That's the old school way of doing it. Compete, win your job. And that is very quaint, but that just ain't reality anymore. And if you don't believe me, look at last year. Cutter was sitting there, hadn't played a whole lot. Here comes Zach Calzada. You think there was a competition for what they paid for Calzada? No. The guy who they pay the big bucks to isn't guaranteed the job, but he's going to get a million tries before they will ever admit that they misspent a ton of money on somebody and they have to turn to someone else. Because I know last year, come Cutter, come compete for the job. He never got first-team reps until it was obvious Calzada wasn't the answer. And then they had to scramble and try to throw something together, and we saw how that went after that.
It's sad.
You're right.
Sorry for stepping on you, Joe. It's really sad when Calzada retired. Yeah. I didn't see it right away. I didn't see anybody who saw it right away. He did it on Instagram. I don't follow him on Instagram, and it was like a non-story. And a couple days later, he's retired from football, which, by the way, surprised me a little bit because you think he tried to go to Canada or someplace else or just get into a camp, that kind of thing. And I'm not saying he's a pro quarterback. I'm not saying he's a pro quarterback, but there are some guys, the guy who was the third stringer for Green Bay that they never thought would play, what did he do in college? There's a lot of guys who end up playing in the league and sometimes get better after they leave college because you need another guy to throw in camp, and sometimes you can press somebody and those kinds of things. Sure. I was surprised he retired, but maybe he just lost his love for the game and stuff like that. But why not play it out? He must not have a love for the game. He can get it. Let's put it this way. People will poo-poo this, but he could have gotten in someone's camp with no bonus, and he could have gotten a tryout in Canada. Absolutely. I'm not saying he'd have made anything. But, who was the young man, and this is not a slight, but he had a nice career at EKU. I think his name was Boyle, and he's bounced around the NFL forever and actually got some starts. And I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. That's not true. He was a nice quarterback at EKU. But if you would have told me he would have played in the league for this long and been on the taxi squads and stuff like that, he's made a lot of money. God bless, more power to him. But if Calzado went to EKU and played his last year there, he might have had the same kind of deal. Point being is this: there's more guys who end up surprising you than not. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs are playing a third stringer that I can't even pronounce his name. So there is a chance of, especially nowadays, Alan, if what you're making in NIL in college doesn't give you the financial cushion to go try the NFL, if it works, great. If it doesn't, so what? Then you've mismanaged a whole lot more than your football career.
Absolutely. And, I forgot what the taxi squad is playing now, because I remember when Jared was on the taxi squad for the Giants, when he was on the taxi squad and not called up. This is obviously a long time ago.
Right.
It's $5,000 a week.
Yeah.
And his line was, Alan, $5,000 a week, even though my rent is high. He goes, I can save money on $5,000 a week.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a lot more now. I should know what it is, but the point is, it's just nuts. So I'm saying 15.
You are right. Go ahead. We'll circle back, but you are right. It's not as clear cut as it used to be that Cutter Bowley will be the quarterback next year, because it is so complicated now with everything that's involved.
Well, actually, I think it's
pretty. If you hold any ill will toward him, no matter how this falls out, you are out of your mind. You're not paying attention.
God bless you for saying that, because I've been saying that, because you're like me. You got Kentucky blood in you, but there'll be some people when and if he leaves, say, "Oh, but you're not being loyal to Kentucky." And I've already said this. Right. These people, you're entitled to your opinion. Shut the hell up. Really, the kid wants to be here, but you know what? Coaches often pick somebody else. That's what Stein has the right to do that. And if anybody out there who would say, well, I would have stayed, really? Okay, that'd be you, but you're not in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, he was hired to build this roster in the image he wants it to be, and more power to him. And I hope it works out just fine in Cutter's here next year. I mean, I'm getting tired of losing my connections. I covered his dad when he played in high school. I covered Travis Perry and wrote the book about Lyon County, and he had to go. He left for Ole Miss, so I'm getting used to it.
Daryl, are you bad luck for the next kid with Kentucky ties from your neck of the woods? Matter of fact, the next time it happens, I'm going to watch this like a hawk on you, Daryl Bird.
That's right.
How is Perry doing down there? I've looked up his numbers; they're not very impressive, but
he got off to a really rough. Yeah, he got off to a really rough start shooting the ball, and they were struggling. And then the numbers started to slowly rise. And they played a game right before Christmas where he put him back in the starting lineup, played him 33 minutes, and he had a career best 21. I think he was like 7 of 11 or 8 of 12. Lit it up from 3. Yeah, played really, really well. So, and they play again, I think tonight. Be curious to see how that follows up.
Yeah, I'm going to start looking at his box scores because I saw that box score and I saw some clips, and he was like, flying.
Mm-hmm.
He made some defensive plays. He was flying all over the court. It was kind of like, whoa,
yeah. Playing
this
loose
is pretty
and free.
cool.
It's been a rough start for Ole Miss though. I love Chris Beard because the kid they got from Kansas, AJ Store, who I think is 4 schools in 4 years, did not play very well, and he ended up benching him most of the game, and then drug him out for the post-game press conference. And I just love Chris Beard for that because they said, what do you do when you're getting benched? They said, well, I don't know that there's a lot you can do about it. And Beard said, excuse me, yes, there is. You sit on the bench and you don't play. That's how you fix it.
You didn't know that? That's
great. It was great. It was great stuff.
Or why don't you show me that you deserve to play and I'm happy to play?
Yeah.
Well, he really said that? That's not a very smart comment. There's nothing you can do. Yeah, how about diving on the floor? How about sprinting down court?
And that's the risk we're in now with his NIL because, he's getting his money. And unless you're Memphis, you're going to start fining your guys for not playing and not performing like you should, which I think all coaches should be doing. And you got an issue. It's so I don't like it at all, the situation we're in now. Now we're dipping into the G League, and it's insane. And I don't know. I'm like you. I don't know that it's ever going to change because there is no leadership at the top to do anything about it.
You know, there hasn't been leadership for a long time. Now
Hasn't been.
now it's just getting exposed more. There's no question about it. You know, I blame Chris Beard for that, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know who this kid is, but I knew they had a kid 4 years and whatever his name is, fine. It's superfluous. I don't care. Chris Beard is one of the better coaches in the country. And you need to know what you're getting involved with. And he might have thought he could change them. But usually there's a reason why you have 4 schools in 4 years. And it's not necessarily always the school. Sometimes it is. Or sometimes, you know, you get beat out by somebody you think you're better. But 4 schools in 4 years, if that ain't a red flag, I don't know what the hell is. That doesn't mean it can't work. But if I'm the coach, I'm going, you got to tell me why this will work, forgetting about just the money.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's been a type of kid where there's always a ton of potential, super highly recruited out of high school. And you know the potential's there. You know the ability is there. It just isn't willing to do it.
You know the one thing, Darryl Bird, about this thing when people say, well, he got his money, he won't work? You'd be surprised I disagree with that so much. And here's the logic. If you say to yourself as a player, well, I got my money, I don't care, then you're dumber than a box of rocks because you got money. How about trying to make more? How about trying to make more? And so you would think if somebody's getting a taste of $1 million, and you know this, there's tons of basketball players making $1 million, you would say, I want more. And I'm going to play even harder to maybe show the NBA I can play, or maybe go to Europe.
Yeah, especially you're right. It's especially the college kids are, every time you don't play, that's more stuff on tape that an NBA GM's going to see. And this is a tryout. I don't care if you are getting paid. You're still trying out for the next level every time you step on the floor. And GMs, they're not going to want to mess with somebody that's a potential locker room problem.
It seems to me if you say, I got my money, and you be lazy, then you're dumb versus saying, I got money, I want to make more. That means you're not hungry. That means you're satisfied. That means where's your heart? Where's your effort? Where's your soul? And go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm going to be accused of being old man screaming on my front lawn. I would throw in it's entitlement as well. Everybody else is getting paid. I'm entitled to my $1 million. What do you mean I have to work to earn it? No, I don't.
I've heard that comment before. It makes me want to throw up.
Yeah.
It makes me want to throw up. How many people do you know have to bring their lunch pail to work every single day? You know, I might be accused, rightly so, of having a big mouth, but the people I work with, some like me, some did not, always say I was the hardest worker in the sports department.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Darryl, please.
I had a lot of discussions with people who long time UK fans who were furious that the fans in Nashville booed as loudly as they booed that team. And I said, this is a different world, guys. I mean, those kids on the court were probably making more in one season, and a lot of those fans will make in 10 years. You better believe it's different, and they're going to pay outrageous prices to get in the building and the trouble getting down there, and then that's the effort. Yeah, maybe it wasn't great that it came out, but it came out, and it's going to be a shorter fuse the longer we go, the deeper we get into this.
Let's put it this way. I figured out pretty quickly. I remember the first time I said it and then looked at it in the commercial break going, oh, I'm wrong. I'm usually pretty good putting numbers in my head. And more power to Owe. I'm not jealous. I promise you. Because if I could have made that money, but I didn't, I have a talent with my mouth, but not with physical skills. Let's be real. But Owe will make more this year than I made my entire career in radio and TV. And I'm not jealous.
Yeah.
I'm not. Because if I could have gotten it, I would have done it. But that's the reality of about 99% of the people who listen to the show. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is. And it wasn't that. I don't think anybody in Nashville was jealous of, oh, you're making this, you shouldn't be making this to play basketball. It was the effort. At least show me the pride. And the coaches, God love them, they have a fight on their hands right now of it meaning more about the name on the front of the jersey than the back, because it's rapidly racing toward it's only the back of the jersey. When you recruit somebody and the only question is how much, then you know the world we're sitting in.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, okay? Because you gave the answer. You said that Beard put this kid on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be pretty simple for me. If you're the highest paid player and you're lazy, son, have a seat. And if that doesn't wake you up, then there are problems and the kid ends up leaving or something like that, then so be it. And I don't say be meaner to the person who makes the most money, but the expectations of hustle should be the same. And here's the other thing, and you know this, Daryl, you've done this forever. When you got a kid making a lot of money and he's lazy, that affects everybody else. Then they'll say, well, he's being lazy. Then I can be lazy too. No, you got to put somebody on the bench. I think the coaches are chicken blank. I think they are. I think most coaches are scared. I think most coaches are not doing their job. I think most coaches haven't adjusted. And I blame the coaches for saying, this is my damn program. I don't care that I'm paying you a ton of money. Hustle, and I want you to earn your money. You can't earn your money? Have a seat. I'll take the loss and I'll take the heat. And if the question comes up in the post game, these are pros now. I sat him because he didn't hustle. Period. If he wants to hustle, I'd love to play him. If he's not going to hustle, he can sit. Or he can leave. Seriously. And I'm waiting for coaches to do it. I blame the coaches because no matter what you're paying these kids, guess what? The bench is your biggest power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't mean to keep pounding on the game in Nashville because I really think that is going to prove to be rock bottom for this team, and they have turned a huge corner going forward. But looking back on it, I would have liked to have seen Mark Pope halfway through that second half said, you know what? You guys are done. Just put in 3 walk-ons or 2 walk-ons and 3 other guys at the end of the bench and let it ride. You're not gonna embarrass me any longer. Get off the floor.
You know what? Fans would.
I guess maybe he took the opposite route, was leave him out there and let him suffer through it.
No, I wish you put him on the bench. Seriously. And you know what? I honestly believe that fans would have been behind Pope 100%.
Yeah. Oh, they would. That night they would have.
Yeah.
But again, to be fair, that was rock bottom, I think. And I've seen a dramatic shift in attitude and leadership and all that other good stuff they got to pull together.
Don't you believe Daryl Bird, editor of the Cat's Paws, that by putting Garrison on the bench, which he earned that, okay, that also sends a message to everybody else on the team? I think that had to shock everybody else on the team. Oh, man.
Sure did.
Coach, Mr. Positive, putting him on the bench, I better pick it up. And I don't think he used Garrison as an example because he said he didn't, but I also don't believe, as smart as Pope is, he didn't think the back of the head that everybody wouldn't pay attention and it would help the rest of the TEAM. And if he says he didn't believe that, he's being naive, whether he wants to admit it to the media or not.
He may not admit it, but he knows it, yeah. He's smart enough to figure that one out. And it's right, it did. And I mean, he could have just taken him out of the game and benched him, but no, he took him out of the game, yelled at him for the entirety of the timeout, and snapped the clipboard in the process, which I guarantee got everybody's attention huddled around that group. Is like, because you're right, Mark came in with we use positive reinforcement. We don't sit down on tape day and look at all the bad plays you had. We look at all the good plays you had. That's the way he came into this. And I asked him about it after the game, and after Garrison came back so strong, he said, sometimes you just don't have any other option. You just have to go that route.
I couldn't agree more. Okay.
Look, I agree.
I think the world of Pope, but he's a coach, and I just give opinions, agree, disagree. He might have said the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard him say last week. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. When JQ didn't play much, he said it wasn't a good matchup. For who? For who? I mean,
exactly.
Mark, it's BS. And I know UK monitors the show. You go tell Mark that, and I bet he laughs at it. I'm not down on Mark Pope at all. I think he's got some adjusting to do, and I think he's adjusting. And I think this has become a much tougher team, which I credit the players, and I credit Mark Pope. I credit Pope. But when you say JQ's not a good match, it's Bellman. He could have played 20 minutes and scored 20 points. He should have had 3-4 dunks and then have him sit out. Not a good matchup? Why don't you just say I was resting him for the knee? Or we got another week of practice. It was a very disingenuous remark. And I'm going to hold him to it. I know it. Oh, my gosh, you can't criticize Mark. Stop it. Have you heard him say anything more ridiculous then that JQ wasn't a good matchup for him? Really?
I don't even remember that comment, but I'll take your word for it. No, that was you're just sitting him out after you put him through a pretty hard workout in that St. John's game. And I even asked Mark after Bellarmine. I said, you're on I think they won 4 in a row or 3 in a row. You're on a run. Would you rather keep playing games and capitalize on this momentum, or are you better off going into hiding for 10 days to get JQ in basketball shape and get him more integrated into your starting lineup? He said, no brainer. We want the time off. It's perfect for us to basically go into hiding and see what they come out with on the other end Saturday.
I remember you asked the question. I was actually there. I don't go to post game, but I had something else to do. It made no sense to go home. You did ask the question. I really liked his answer. But by the same token, too, you know what bothered me? Because I asked the question about Lowe, that is this going to be a trend sitting him out every now and then, or was it because he was sore? And I tell you the answer, and I think it was a straight up answer, but I'm going, this is not good. So that game was on Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they played St. John's on a Saturday, right?
Right.
So you had Sunday and Monday, and Lowe is still sore? That really bothered me if he was still that sore. Now, he didn't say sore because of the shoulder. Might have been. He didn't say sore because there's no way the kid can be in shape. He can't be in shape. The kid's cutting it out. There's no question he's not in game shape. But you're that age and you're sore on a Tuesday from a Saturday, and it's not like you played 35 minutes. That to me was bothersome.
Yeah. I think it's another one. Hey, I'm not playing you against Bellarmine. We're going to rest. They did say, 24 hours is good for that shoulder. 78 is really good. 120 is even better. So I wouldn't have played him against Bellarmine. No way.
Then just say I'm resting.
But you're right. This whole season is, no matter how much better they get, and they are playing a lot better, it's so tenuous on that shoulder's got to hold up through the rest of the year. And you just know it's going to have ups and downs.
Well, last one.
There's no way it won't.
I'm, playing your season with your fingers crossed is not a good way to play any season.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're Trancey or Kentucky or Bellarmine or whatever. Okay, so here's my last one. I was going to put it in the monologue, and I forgot to write it down. So you remember there's a whole bunch of people when Cam Williams started off the season. He's not a Kentucky player. What he's doing here, don't play him all, get rid of it. It was all kinds of stuff on social media. Okay, now he's starting to hit. Now, his game the other day, anybody expects him to hit 8 or 10, whatever, all the time. They got rocks in their head, but he's becoming a player right in front of our eyes. Look, I don't know. I don't have the answer, and I'll be the first to say it. But for people to say that Jasper Johnson can't be a good point guard by the end of the year, for sure, you don't have any idea. I'm not saying you. Generally, you don't have any. I don't have any idea. All I know, if Cam Williams could get this much improved in such a short time period, maybe Jasper can. Again, I don't know. But for people to say he's not a point guard at this particular point in time makes no sense to me. Young people improve, they develop, they grow. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. It's Pope's Mr. Positive says he thinks Jasper's going to be a really good backup point guard. Maybe he will. I'm just saying, to say that he won't be, and you might end up being right, is kind of silly. People grow and change. That's what college is about.
Yeah, especially for freshmen. But I don't know that the conversation has ever taken place, and I kind of wish it would, because Jasper, to me, isn't so much a point guard as he is a scoring point guard, and he looks to shoot first. Someone should have had a conversation with Jalen Lowe's shoulder could go anytime. I need a pass first point guard. I don't care if you don't shoot the rest of the year. I need someone to distribute and get this offense rolling, and to see if he would have accepted the challenge and ran with it. Because when I see him out there, if he's open, he's taking the shot. He's driving the lane and putting up some difficult tries instead of passing the ball. They don't pass it like they should, except when Jalen's on the floor. And it's going to be a hardship if they don't have him every game the rest of the year.
Last one. Give me a fairly quick answer. Are you
Sure.
more concerned as to who will end up being the starting quarterback next year, or more concerned about how they're going to find 5 starting offensive linemen?
Oh, you better be concerned about the offensive line, because it don't matter who the quarterback is.
Amen. Give yourself a great plug. You do a great job. And I'm so sorry about the analogy I made about your hair and my hair and age.
My hair's not quite as white as yours. Mine is not even white. It's a mixture. We'll go mixture.
Let's put it this way. Are you eating I take a lot of vitamins. Maybe I'm taking the wrong ones. I'm also a lot older than you, Daryl.
That's true. Yeah, sure.
How old are you?
Don't think so. 66.
How old are you? 56. Oh, my gosh.
66 with a 6.
Well, my ears are going, too. Give yourself a great plug. I swear. I'm not kidding. Usually I kid, and I really thought you said 56. And I'm going, what were you, the editor of the Cat's Paws when you were 12?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Plug?
Give yourself a great plug.
I don't know what that would be. Just following us at catspaws.com. And we are still moving basketball yearbooks, which you can find at shopcatspaws.com. We always have a huge sales number in October, and then we have another spike at Christmas. And this year we've seen a spike because they've started playing better. That we ebb and flow with what the team does. But, those are still moving. We still have a few left.
So if everybody in the world next July picks Kentucky #1 nationally, you're going to sell a whole lot more publications. Yeah, of course. The better they play, the better we do. It's the way probably a lot of us in the media covering UK are in that same situation. Yep. Hey, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Always appreciate your time. You do a hell of a job, and text me the vitamins that you take, because man, your hair is I was already white by your age, and I'm a lot older, so I'm doing something wrong. Thanks, dude. Okay, I'll do that. All right, man. Take care. Have a great day. Always appreciate you. I don't know, Sean, about his hair. He does not look 66. I think that's my problem with that. He just doesn't look 66.
Some of us are lucky.
Yeah. Blue Lotus Health. I'll be lucky to see him soon. Acupuncture. Ramon Carriego. Now also providing a licensed massage therapist, acupuncture. And he helps me tremendously. I say it all the time. All the time. Pain, low back, neck and shoulder, arm, hand pain, foot pain, sciatica, neurology, myopathy, metabolism issues, autoimmune, breech, infertility, parasites, low energy, confusion, headache, dizziness, seizure, all kinds of things he can help you with. But you don't go in there one time and boom, you have a problem and it's gone. It's just not the way of the world, because the problem didn't probably happen overnight. So it takes time. And he's helped me a lot. That's all I can honestly say. Blue Lotus Health. Please use my name. Ramon Carriega, Blue Lotus Health on Versailles Road, 859-533-0914. 859-533-0914. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM.
No Filter Radio with Alan Cutler, brought to you by Quantrell Auto Group. QuantrellForLife.com.
Hi, this is Alan Cutler. Have a no filter comment? Hit the text line, 859-381-1313. 859-381-1313.
Ho, ho, ho. What are you doing, Uncle Rick?
Looking at these twinkle lots, 250 strands of lots, 100 individual bulbs per strand, for a grand total of 25,000 twinkle lots.
Well, it looks like you're not quite ready for the holidays yet, but here at Clark's Pump & Shop, we are. We have M&M, Milky Way, Snickers, or Twix share-size candy bars, 2 for $4.50, or Uncle Ray's potato chips, 8-ounce bags, 2 for $6.
Maybe I should wrap up my lots so I can get over to Clark's Pump & Shop.
Uncle Rick, the little lights aren't blinking.
I know, Carl. I know.
Happy holidays from the Clark family.
My name is Terry Schultz, CEO for the Rutherford County Area Habitat for Humanity. Republic Bank has really been a game changer. They have invested not only financially, but time to really listen so that we can move our mission forward. What I like about Republic Bank is they've come in asking, what are your needs? And I don't know that you get that any other place.
That's Terry's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank. Time to thrive. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Alan Cutler. This holiday season, give the gift of adventure with Quantrell Subaru. Right now, the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event. Subaru will donate $250 to one of 5 amazing nonprofits, including the Hope Center. And Quantrell Subaru is stepping up in a big way, more than doubling that, donating a total of $550 for every new Subaru purchased or leased now through January 2nd. Be part of the community and help make a difference through the 2025 Share the Love event at Quantrell Subaru. Learn more at QuantrellSubaru.com.
Houchins Insurance Group is proud to partner with Auto Owners Insurance, a company that provides opportunity for independent agents to make insurance simple for their clients, offering risk management services that range from a renter's policy for your college student to home and auto coverage for your entire family. Houchins Insurance Group assures you that nobody works harder to keep you protected from life's uncertainties.
Reach out to AJ Boss or Zach Bennett at 859-263-2771 to see if Auto Owners Insurance makes sense for you.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help.
Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
W223 CV Lexington.
ESPN Sports Radio 1392.5, WLXG Lexington, and LM Communications Broadcasting Station. The only no-filter sports show in Kentucky. It's the Alan Cutler Show with award-winning TV sportscaster Alan Cutler.
Welcome back. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to my friend Chris Chenault, former Studley linebacker at Kentucky, who back in the day retired as the number 2 all-time leading tackler that will never be topped, because anybody who is as good as Chris won't stay that long. You know, if this were today, you wouldn't have played 4 years. You'd have been drafted early, would have had a better chance than you did with the Bengals, would have made more money, and you wouldn't be talking to me.
I would have took that NIL money, took my good health, and started my own business. I say that now, but I've probably been like the other kid and spent it all.
How are you, man?
I'm good, man. I got tennis elbows, something bad.
You need acupuncture.
No, ain't nobody sticking nothing in me.
It's not drugs.
It's needles.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah, I turn away when I give blood. I'm not scared of it. Actually, I like the pain, but I don't like seeing it. And the fact that somebody's poking me with no benefit that I can see, like drawing blood, I don't get it. I've never done it.
You relax your body and close your eyes.
I've got a massage chair on my patio, yeah.
Mr. Tough Guy, you're afraid of needles.
I'm not messing with no acupuncture. Or those suction things that put those circles on those guys' back. They look like octopus tentacles done grab the hold of them. You see them little circles all over them?
Yeah, swimmers use it all the time.
Yeah, they can have that too.
It's good. You understand the coupling for the blood circulation and loosening everything up? It's really smart.
It's not that. It's just laying still while someone pokes and prods you. I'm not that type of person. I can't get it. What's that thing where they slide you, the MR, the machine?
Yeah.
You ever been in one of those?
Yeah, and by the way, and I'm a little claustrophobic. I have problems with that.
Yeah,
I have problems with that.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I've been in there like 3 times.
You're a tough guy. I'm not tough.
Yeah, hit me out for like a wet piece of tissue. I'm just old right now. Feeling old, but young spirit, Peter Pan complex.
Okay, I might try something a little different now. You ready for it?
Talk to me.
You're old enough, and I'm saying this now with kindness, not my normal kidding around.
Mm-hmm.
You're old enough to remember Muhammad Ali. How big of a fan were you of Muhammad Ali?
I liked his style, and more importantly, I was impressed because he was from Kentucky, and to go on a national stage with that confidence and stuff. I mean, I was born in '65. I saw the later years when he was fighting Foreman and Frazier, but those early years, I'm a boxing enthusiast. I watch all those. I YouTube it down. I've seen all his fights, especially against Sonny Liston. I think he was the best showman you could have and brought in a new era where people were starting to say, that brings in more ticket sales.
Absolutely. Okay. This is a long piece of tape. I found it the other day. It was off a TV show that Muhammad did way before he started losing his faculties. When, if you recall, and I think the older people listening will remember that he was amazing at just sprouting off poetry and lines and that kind of stuff. And he was one of the first African-American athletes. As a matter of fact, they had kind of like a convention. Bill Russell, Muhammad Ali,
Jim Brown. Yeah, I got a picture of it on my wall.
Yeah. And they were together fighting for rights for African-American athletes, because back in those days, they wouldn't allow, and I'm putting it that way, they would not allow an African-American to be a quarterback. for reasons that were so stupid. They didn't think they were smart enough, and that in itself was so stupid. It was just absolutely ridiculous. Derek Ramsey has told me many times, if the Conridge Holloways at Tennessee, who I remember, there were some great young black quarterbacks in the SEC who didn't get a chance in the NFL because they say, oh, he's just an athlete. How ridiculous was that? And so that was an era where somebody started sticking up for African-American people and African-American athletes. I want to play this clip, and this comes from his mind that he just sprouted this off. This is Muhammad Ali. I'm going to guess, by just looking at him, I'm going to guess this was late 60s, but I don't know for sure. Listen carefully. This might offend some people, but if you listen to it with an open mind, it's brilliant, some of the things I believe he is saying. Here it is. Sean, did you leave the studio?
John gone.
Huh. Sean's not in the studio.
Give me some more hints. I could probably recite it for
No,
you.
you
I don't
can't.
watch everything.
No, you can't.
Oh, really?
No, this is that good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's really that good.
Was it one of his lectures?
No, he was doing a TV show.
One with when the lady stood up.
Nope.
From Canada.
Nope. Let's move on. And if Sean shows up, and I told Sean that we're going to use it early on, so he must have had an emergency. We'll just.
I know you got my curiosity going. Sean, get on back.
Well, he's now off my screen too. Neither here nor there. From what you've seen of Stein, and I'll just be blunt. Most of the guys he's hired, they could be great. They could be bad. I'm not saying anything. I don't know enough about him. I mean, I've done reading on him and stuff like that. I like the offensive coordinator a ton. I liked him before he came in the picture here for what he did with Daniels. I think he's a brilliant, young offensive mind who's going to be a head coach. I don't doubt it at all. And the fact that he wants to be here, knowing that Stein will sometimes put his 2 cents in, as he can and should as the head coach, to me speaks volumes. I think he's a quarterback whisperer. And Bateman, I really like him. If you're the defensive coordinator at Army for 5 years and you don't have size and speed, but you have plenty of heart and stuff like that, to survive 5 years at Army, you better be a pretty damn good coach to be at the academy. So at least the coordinators I really like. I'm not saying the other guys, they could be great. And I trust Stein's judgment. You have to trust. I'm just saying, to be blunt about it, instead of me having strong opinions, I really don't, but I trust what he's been hiring. What do you say?
As on the defense, him being the Army, my main concern with them was the discipline and having command presence when they step on the field, everybody looking uniformed, if you know what I mean. I think he'll bring that. I'm gonna treat him just like I did Stoops. I'm gonna give them that opportunity to show me what they got. Everybody can speak and say a lot of words. It's just like a potential. It means you ain't done nothing yet. I want to see what he does in the Southeastern Conference and how he adapts. I mean, it's like going back to basketball, not to intertwine the two. Everybody knew Kentucky needed to get tougher. When they did, they started winning more. It's just you got to see who you got and play with what you got. It's called reading the room.
This is what I've said about Cutter. I said I was staying it last week, but now we're close to deadline time. The portal officially opens January 2nd. These kids have had offers for a long, long time. It just officially, when you put your name in the portal, or a kid can say, I'm going to put my name in the portal, you can do that now, whatever. I really, outside of Thanksgiving and Christmas, those are the only 2 days the portal isn't open. I don't give a crap what anybody says, because phone calls are being made. I've told you the story. I'm telling you, there are kids that get talked to after games on the field. It's so much more wide open. It's not even funny. It just is.
Wild Wild West. Yeah.
It's Wild Wild West. You know what? Hey, Sean, are you back in the studio? Okay. Do me a favor. Cue up the Muhammad Ali take. Let me know when you have it. I want to play that first, then we'll get back into, because I think this is such a special thing. Muhammad Ali, the greatest. And it's interesting that Billy Crystal did the eulogy. Remember at the funeral?
Yes, I saw
that guy I grew up playing basketball with.
Yeah.
In Long Beach.
Really?
Yeah. He lived about 3 blocks from an elementary school, and I lived about 3 blocks in another direction from elementary school. And you didn't call anybody up. You just showed up. We weren't friends. We just ended up playing ball together a lot. Mm-hmm. You just showed up in the afternoon, after school, whatever, and whoever was there, we played pickup.
Did you see the talent that early?
In him, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
and I'll tell you why. I'm 17 years old, and I'm sitting with my best friend, who we just went to Phoenix. His son got married 3 weekends ago, and we've been playing ball, and we're just sitting there and back then drinking pop, soda,
Right.
not beer, whatever. And he comes over, and Billy Crystal used us as a prop. He came over, and he did an unbelievable Muhammad Ali, Howard Cosell. For those that remember Howard Cosell impersonation, it was hysterical. I'm guessing he probably did this for 50 people. It's not that we were that close. He did it for us.
Right.
Fast forward, I'm doing semi-pro baseball play-by-play in Colorado. I'm in Colorado Springs after a game. The coach's name for the Grand Junction Eagles, Bob McDonald. Mac was then the coach of Washington State, the baseball coach, and we were going to go out and have a beer after the game. He was taking a shower. We're in a really dog hotel. Again, there's no money. I mean, this is a tiny, crappy black and white TV, and I'm watching the TV, and the Howard Cosell roast was on, and Billy Crystal comes on, and that's how he got his big break. And the story later was the producers were arguing whether he should come on or not because they were running out of time, and they literally pushed him out there. Because one person said no, one person said yes, he went out there. Think of the pressure.
Right.
No, he does the same routine, word for word, that he did when I was 17 years old. And it was hysterical. And that's how he got his break. So from that day on, we knew he was going to be something special. And he played in comedy clubs in New York and all that kind of stuff, and then got his big break, from that. So,
Hey, a word for thought. Back in that day, if there had been social media, he would have blew up way back then. Because somebody would have filmed that bit between when he did it in front of y'all, and it would have been everywhere. It went viral.
maybe,
That's
but
just the different times.
Yeah, if there were a bunch of people, it was just me and Bobby. Literally leaning against a fence after playing ball for a couple hours, what we normally did, and then just taking a break, and then other guys would show up. We played some more. It's what we did. Okay, so here's the Muhammad Ali it's got to be from the. I'm almost sure it's from the late 1960s. This is basically him just going off. Sean, here it is.
So I do a lot of reading, a lot of studying. I ask questions. I travel these countries. I watch how their people live, and I learn. And I always ask my mother. I said, "Mother, how come is everything white?" I said, "Why is Jesus white with blonde hair and blue eyes? Why is the Lord's Supper all white men? Angels are white. Pope and Mary and even the angels." I said, "Mother, when we die, do we go to heaven?" She said, "Naturally, we go to heaven." I said, "Well, what happened to all the black angels when they took the pictures?" I said, "Oh, I know. If the white folks was in heaven too, then the black angels were in the kitchen preparing the milk and honey." She said, "Listen, you quit saying that, boy." I was always curious, and I always wondered why I had to die to go to heaven. Why I couldn't have pretty cars and good money and nice homes now? Why do I have to wait till I die to get milk and honey? And I said, "Mama, I don't want no milk and honey. I like steaks and I said, "Milk and honey is a laxative anyway. Did they have a lot of bathrooms in heaven?" So anyway, I was always curious. I always wondered why. Tarzan is the king of the jungle in Africa. He was white. White man. I saw this white man swinging around Africa with a diaper on, hollering, "Oh!" Do you all see Tarzan over here? Right. Tarzan? And all the Africans, so he's beating them up and breaking the lion's jaw. And here's Tarzan talking to the animals, and the Africans been there for centuries, and he can't talk to the animals. Only Tarzan can talk to the animals. I always wondered why. And Miss America was always white. All the beautiful brown women in America, beautiful suntans, beautiful shapes, all type complexions, but she always was white. And Miss World was always white. And Miss Universe was always white. And then they got some stuff called White House cigars, White Swan soap, King White soap, White Cloud tissue paper, White Rain hair rinse, White Tornado floor wax. Everything was white. And the angel food cake was the white cake, and the devil food cake was the chocolate cake. I said, "Mama, why is everything white?" I always wondered, and the president lived in the White House. And Mary had a little lamb, his feet as white as snow, and Snow White. And everything was white. Santa Claus was white. And everything bad was black. The little ugly duckling was the black duck, and the black cat was the bad luck. And if I threaten you, I'm going to blackmail you. I said, "Mama, why don't they call it white male? They lie too." I was always curious, and then this is when I knew something was wrong.
What do you think? Now, you know who he reminds me of in his own way, but different. I've become obsessed with George Carlin. It happened in the pandemic, and I just messing around on YouTube saw one of his routines, and I bet I've watched at least 50 of them. And he took on the government, he took on everybody in a different way, but sort of the same way. And just what'd you think of that? He was the greatest, and I know there will be some people out there who will be very offended by it, but my mouth offends people too. I can't worry about it.
He was reminding people what seeing through our perspective and doing it in a humorous way. I mean, if you got empathy, you can see what I'm a 60 person. I grew up through all that, and I discovered racism, and it shocked me. But I grew up in a biracial neighborhood. I'm a biracial descent, so I can coexist in both societies. But I think a lot of it comes down to the education and just people being ignorant of what the unknown is. People don't sit down and ask questions. To me, I force the point. If you don't know me, if you have a problem, I'm gonna teach you about my culture, and that's the best thing about it. And I think he saw that at an early age because he had the intellect to see, hey, this ain't fair. Because if you came to this planet and knew nothing about the social norms, you'd be saying, why y'all doing this to these people? It's just the way it is at that time. And as long as we progress and keep getting better, I think that's what we strive for. Because me speaking as a Black American, my family shed blood and it's in the soil of this land. And I am an American. You can put whatever shade you want on it. But I'll fight for this land and country and my property and my culture any day at a time because that's what American allows. And as long as we keep that faith and everybody has empathy and see that, some people say, well, I don't have empathy. Well, if you don't have empathy and you do believe in a creator, it would behoove you to get your stuff straight before you meet him.
Well said.
I'm just been down this road many times. When when you're ready, you don't have to get ready. I'm always prepared for questions like that because I'm ready to answer that and I'm ready for the dialect. I wasn't a fan of Charlie Kirk, but I understood his message. You feel me?
Yeah. I would like to have sat down and talked to Charlie Kirk.
I would have too. And I was researching him before that happened, and I saw his point. But like he said, a good debate is a good debate, and we probably would have bumped heads on a lot of major issues. But if he's willing to sit down and speak about it, I said, why can't that be like on Sunday evening when they used to do that? Get different opinions down there and debate. I mean, don't do it on social media where you can hide behind a falsetto or something like that. Put your face out there. If you're strong enough, like back in the 60s, America has lost its way. When they took dodgeball out of high school and whatever, we lost that thing of trying to be number one. America is based on being number one. We can't lack being number one. You ever been number two? No one remembers you. So if you want to be number one, it takes all of us, not just one culture, one person or one idea. It's 9 ways to skin a cat. There's 20,000 ways of judging intelligence. I can take a brain surgeon, put him in a forest, he'd be dead in a week. You take somebody who's been there and living, fine, he can sit there and survive, but he can't open your skull and fix it. It all depends on how you look. It's a perspective in life. And once you see that perspective and you get that chip off your shoulder that the world owes you nothing, it's only what you make of it, you'll be fine. And if you don't be fine, life's not that long. You'll see what's next.
I don't know how we go back to sports after that. That was really good.
I'm sorry, I was venting,
no. Hey, I led you down the primrose path. I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah, and another thing, like when I was going, when Christmas Eve come, you look out that door at 9 o'clock. I don't care if it was snow or summertime. Every kid in the world was out there showing what he got. I went out on a porch last night to take pictures of my family because I bought everybody different bathrobes. I'm talking about long, plushy ones, one you curl up and sleep in. And there was no kid out there running around no bikes doing wheelies or nothing. I grabbed my grandson who was up there playing on his PlayStation with his new games and got him on his scooter. I said, you better go tell your friends your new scooter. Oh, they ain't gonna come out there playing the games. I'm playing online. No, that's not what Christmas is about. Get out there, knock on doors, say, come and check it out. Before long, I had a cul-de-sac with kids playing. They enjoyed it because when are you gonna get that type of weather on Christmas Day and you go out there and ride your bike, ride your scooter, get out there, show what you do, catch you in your new ball glove. And then later on, when you come in and eat, you can get on your PlayStation. But right now, get your butt outside. Enjoy life.
Bless you, brother.
You too. Hey, America, let's be nice to each other. That's all we got.
Christian Alt, I respect you tremendously. I knew you'd handle it. Had you ever heard, last thing, you ever heard that tape before?
Yeah, and I could have recited most of them, not word for word, but I
No,
had. Yes, I knew all of the. I'm a history buff because history's always made by the victor, and it's always his story. But there's always two sides to every story, and then that's the truth. You get right, left, and then the truth. And everybody's perspective is their truth through their eyes. So don't get mad at them. Agree to disagree. You'll be a lot safer.
Let me leave you with my favorite quote. You ready? It was done by Bernard Baruch, who was advisors to presidents from Woodrow Wilson through JFK. And he couldn't be president because he was Jewish. Right. And there's a school named after him. And he did all kinds of things. Did a lot of things for all kinds of people. And he said, and I quote, "History doesn't repeat itself, but men make the same mistakes."
True.
Amen. Chris, hope to talk to you soon. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Respect the hell out of you. And I'm like so many, I am so glad this show has rekindled our relationship. I feel lucky and blessed.
Put this post because I got a good feeling out of this conversation. I think something's going to come out of it. Let people hear that conversation. It needs to be heard.
Thank you. Thanks, Chris.
Bye.
Bless you, man.
Bye-bye.
Christian Alt, Studley linebacker at Henry Clay and at Kentucky. Cup of coffee in the NFL. One of the good guys, caring guys. It's really good, Sean. That Muhammad Ali thing to me was absolutely spectacular. Let's do this. Before we take the break, I want to do two things. I want to play the Cody Ford play and then go right into the Cody Ford sound. So in case you missed it, this 350-pounder they had as a wide receiver for the Bengals, and he was the second option. And they didn't throw it to Chase, the best receiver in the NFL, because he was covered. And so Joe Burrow threw it to Ford. And Ford regrets not scoring. And one of the things you'll hear him say was that there was no way he could let one guy tackle him. 351 pounds. Reminded me of the Fridge. Sean, you're old enough to remember the Fridge in the 80s scoring touchdowns for the Bears. And I'm honestly surprised, and I really thought that would be a trend, that every team has somebody. Here's the one thing I've said for years and years and years. Hey, look, Kentucky's got a Fridge. Everybody's got a Fridge. You don't have to be 350 pounds. But when you're inside the 5, have your Fridge be the fullback. It's like a moving guard to help score a touchdown. And some teams have used it, but not very many, and I will never figure it out. It's 2 steps and hit and create a hole. It's baffling how more teams don't do it. I don't get it. I love to see Kentucky do this kind of thing, but I don't ever recall. I've been watching football since 1960. 350-pound wide receiver actually caught the ball. And so here's the play, and then here's Cody Ford, offensive line from the Bengals, talking about a play he will remember forever.
Offensive lineman is split out to the bottom of your screen. Burrow looking that direction. It's Ford. Big man on the run. Rumbling down the sidelines and inside the 5.
In high school, I played tight end for my first year. I tight end in junior high. I played basketball. I was dunking the ball.
Yep. Seen that.
Baseball.
Yep.
I did track and field.
Yep.
I mean, what can I do?
I know. Just kind of take us what was going through your head as you came around on that weird hitch route that you ran. I don't understand why no one was covering you, but just take us through. When you see the tip of the ball coming to you, he kind of led you upfield. You catch it upfield.
Look, last night, all I was thinking about was if he throw me this ball, catch it, and get north.
Yep.
That's one big coaching point I've heard every receiver coach say. That's all I was thinking about.
Yep. And you might be one of the first guys this year to split 4 defenders. That's all I got.
What's the route? A hitch route.
It was a hitch route.
Yeah, right. I don't know if I ran it right or whatever. Yeah. They were like just run down, turn around.
Well, like you said, he didn't throw it at your chest. It kind of
because like I was saying earlier, like as the play kept, I was like, I'm just out here. And then he threw it, and I was like, oh, this is not coming to my body. Like, I got to reach for this one. And
good hand, Cody's. Good hands. Well, what did you play in track? What was your event in track?
Shot put.
So you catch the pass, you turn. What are you thinking?
You run. I was just thinking run. And the one other big thing was I can't let one person tackle me, because it's kind of embarrassing, you know. So if it was more than one person, I was like, I can accept that for myself, but I couldn't just let that one DB tackle me. I wouldn't have lived it down from the guys either.
Jackson wanted you to go down after the first 4 yards after you caught the ball. Why were you thinking run and not listening?
Well, if he would have told me that, I probably would have did it. But he didn't disclose that to me, so I thought I had free range to do whatever. Like, if I would have had to shake somebody, I would have tried.
Joe said whenever one of the big guys get the ball, they light up like a Christmas tree. We saw you do that. Why?
I mean, we don't ever get to touch the ball. We do it. We get the hardest jobs of the day, and then I finally get to touch the ball. It's a dream come true.
I know you said it earlier, but what was it like hearing an entire stadium kind of chant your name?
It was surreal. That was something I've never been a part of, and today will be with me for a long time, if not forever.
How cool was that, Sean?
That's good. I always like a big guy getting involved in the offense.
Oh, and the joy that everybody got. And can you imagine if let's say a DB went to his knees and tackled him, he would never live it down for the rest of his career. For the rest of his career, which was, I think the whole thing was really cool. I mean, it was a fun moment in a lousy season. I don't know how else to put it. And I'll tell you what would be a fun moment for you as far as getting better and healing would be Terry Page. Terry Page. Not a very good, a great licensed massage therapist, 859-373-0578, 859-373-0578. She's helped me tremendously. Text, please use my name to get an appointment in Butler, Kentucky, Monday and Tuesdays. This week, I know she's off Thursday. I'm not sure about Friday because of January 1st. So text her, get an appointment. She's done wonders for me. She's on Regency Road here in Lexington, normally on Thursdays and Fridays. Check her out. Please use my name, Terry Page, 859-373-0578. Sean Woods coming up next. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM.
The Alan Cutler Show.
Sorry, I had an emergency. I had to step out.
No, that's what I figured.
All good now, though.
You like that, Ali? You think it was too far in left field?
It's just not the type of service that you typically get from your bank.
That's Kathy's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank. Time to thrive. Member FDIC.
Being a family caregiver can be rewarding, but it can also be expensive. Search caregiver compensation programs at the AARP Foundation Paid for Care Hub, developed with support from United Healthcare. Visit paidforcare.aarpfoundation.org.
Ho, ho, ho.
are you doing, Uncle Rick?
Looking at these twinkle lots, 250 strands of lots, 100 individual bulbs per strand, for a grand total of 25,000 twinkle lots.
Well, it looks like you're not quite ready for the holidays yet, but here at Clark's Pep & Shop, we are. We have 5-hour energy shots, buy 2, get 1 free, and Mike and Ike or Hot Tamales Theater Box Candy 2 for $2.
Maybe I should wrap up my lots so I can get over to Clark's Pep & Shop.
Uncle Rick, the little lights aren't blinking.
I know, Carl. I know.
Happy holidays from the Clark family.
Listen to the Alan Cutler Show weekdays noon to 2 on ESPN 92.5 and 1300 AM and on the ESPN Lexington app. Back to No Filter Radio with Alan Cutler. Podcasts on Apple, Spotify, and Google Monday through Friday.
Welcome back. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM. And I'm really sad now because I don't get to see the pretty face of Sean Woods because Zoom doesn't work at Scott County High. So we're doing it the old-fashioned way on the phone. I just miss seeing your pretty face, Sean. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing the best I can with what I got, Bubs. How about yourself?
I'm good. Former Studley guard for Patino back in the day with his jersey up in the rafters or up where it belongs with his teammates from the Unforgettables. I was talking to Cisco Bryant, and I hadn't looked it up. He did. You're 6-2 starting off at Scott County High. How you guys doing?
We're hanging in there, man. We're getting better every single day, Bubs. And, I'm ecstatic about these young men, and they're giving it to me and bringing it every single day. And the way we're going about it, we can't do nothing but get better.
Really? So you got a bunch of kids with a good attitude.
Great, awesome attitude.
So you're having fun. I can feel it in your voice. You're having fun.
I'm having fun. These guys are getting better, and hopefully we can continue to get better and make some noise in January, February, March.
There you go. I got to come to a game. If I don't come to a game, you're really going to give it to me bad, aren't you?
You already know.
Oh, I know. And I'm going to get a Scott County sweatshirt, just like you got me, like you promised that Mississippi Valley State sweatshirt and the Southern.
I just ain't seen you, Bubs. I got a whole thing just folded up for you, and I just ain't seen to give it to you, buddy. So charge it to my head and not to my heart.
Oh, I'm just busting your chops. You know that. And really, you have a Mississippi Valley State sweatshirt from back in the day that you've saved me for all these years? Really?
I got something from Mississippi Valley. I got something from, I think, Moorhead, and I may have something from Southern, too.
Who was I talking to? Jason Hart, assistant for Kentucky. And he was a stud and, All-American and big career at Syracuse, but he bounced around the NBA, which is still bouncing around the NBA. I added up. I don't remember. It was like between minor league ball in different countries and something like that. I'd have to relook it up, but he played for like 12 or 13 teams. A lot of guys bounce around. And you know this. You don't play for that many teams if you're a bad guy, because if you get a bad guy and you end up being at the end of the bench, they ain't going to pick you up again. It's actually a compliment to him. And so I said, do you have all your jerseys? He goes, yeah, they're on my wall. And I said, it must be a hell of a wall. He goes, yeah, it really is. So, think about all the places you've been. If you have all those jerseys on your wall, you can have a heck of a wall.
Yeah, and I do. I have almost every jersey that I've ever played in, and I got every jersey of every Kentucky jersey too that Van Florence gave it to me as a gift one day. He framed every last jersey that I've ever worn at the University of Kentucky and gave it to me.
Can I admit to you a really bad mistake I made?
What's that?
I love this jacket, the denim jacket with the wrong denim color that came out, and they bring denim uniforms back next month. Well, I wore it to the point, used to wear it to TV all the time. There were so many holes in it. I actually took it to a seamstress to get it repaired. And the holes were so big, they said they couldn't repair it a couple months ago. And I threw it out. The guy said there's nothing. I threw it out. And now I knew they were going to do it. It was a moment going, I love the jacket. My daughter even said, Dad, I can't believe you did that. Used to wear that all the time. I can't tell you how many stand-ups I did in that denim jacket. I love that denim jacket. Literally, there were so many holes, it was ridiculous, but I shouldn't have thrown it out. I regret doing it.
Well, you don't throw history away, baby.
Well,
you just don't. You know that better than anybody.
Well, I was frustrated that I couldn't get it fixed. and it was a really bad mistake on my part. Bad mistake. And even at my weight, it actually fit pretty good. I mean, they were really, I should have taken a picture. If you saw how many holes, and I used to wear it with all the holes.
Well, see what I'm saying? It made it look better with all the holes, you know? It became more authentic.
Yeah, it might have hit my belly a little better, too. They'd be looking at the holes. Okay.
Well, that you telling you losing all that. So, you know what
I'm
I'm saying?
not putting any on, not losing it. I'm 242 this morning. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, we're not going to talk about it, boss.
Okay. Are you 205?
I'm 205. 205, Bubs.
I was 247.
My playing weight at Kentucky was 178, 180, 173, 174. My senior year, I never played at 180 before in my life.
You can't get to 178. You look emaciated.
I know it. I can't do that, but I'm just saying I'm feeling good, man, at 205.
Well, I was 247 the other day. I'm 242 now. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, so this Kentucky team. Can you believe I was that stupid to throw that jacket out? Really, I've never seen a jacket with more holes in it and rips. Okay, so to play your season on pins and needles, not knowing if Lowe's going to be okay, seems like a very difficult way to place your hopes on a season. I was asked the other day, do I think this is a Final Four team? And I said, no. And the person asked me, why? Why are you being negative? I said, first of all, not everybody can make the Final Four. But I said, can you tell me that Lowe will be healthy all year? And that person said, no. And I said, look, anybody can get hurt, but this kid is going to have some setbacks during the year. And I didn't like the fact when Pope was honest, and he said on, after the game on Tuesday against Bellarmine, that one of the reasons why Lowe didn't play because he was still sore from Saturday, the St. John's game. That's not good. And so, although I think they're going to show a lot of toughness, and I think JQ changes them totally, and Cam is coming on, and guys are getting better, and I think Jasper's going to be better at a point guard, and I want to ask you about that in a second. But I can't have faith in this team possibly making the Final Four if you have no idea if they're going to have an elite point guard. Do you agree?
You got to agree. I mean, you could have said, well, I don't know, because the best answer to that was, just like you said, I don't know. I don't know if Jalen Lowe is going to last the whole year. I don't know. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you don't know. You can't know. Now, do they have the potential? If all the pieces start to come into play, then, yeah, they have a chance. But we don't know, because if Jalen Lowe is going to be in one game and out the other, then to get to the NCAA tournament, the SEC, you got to play 4 or 3 or whatever. And then to get to the Final Four, you got to win 4. You know what I'm saying? Can he put that many games in a row together?
If he was healthy, I would say yes. It's just impossible for me to believe he's going to get hit so much more in the SEC. These coaches know each other. He's going to get, as you said, he's going to get screened. Depending upon what happens, he's going to get hit on the shoulder. It's a problem. Let me ask you as a point guard. Here's my analogy. So in the beginning of the year, Cam Williams was terrible. He wasn't playing defense. Now he's playing really good defense. And Pope has called him his best defensive player. And that block he made a couple of games ago was spectacular. And for a kid who shot 41% at Tulane, he couldn't hit the side of a barn early on. Okay, he was 8 for 10 the other day. That's not going to happen very often. But it looks like he's got his touch back, and the kid can really shoot, neither here nor there. Here's my point. I have no idea if Jasper Johnson this year can be a really good backup point guard. I'm not saying he will. I'm not saying he won't. But I'm open-minded that he can become one, because he's a smart kid and he's learning and he's trying to please Pope. What I don't like is that all these people who said, yeah, get rid of Cam, he's not a Kentucky player, blah, 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 blah. It's ridiculous. You've seen it. Guys grow and improve and stuff like that. Maybe Jasper can become a good backup point guard this year. I don't know. But I'm open-minded to the fact that he might be able to. What do you see from Jasper Johnson? Because I think, first of all, I think this kid for a freshman handles pressure very, very well. I really do, and I think that'll be part that'll help him. I could see him becoming possibly a really nice backup point guard. Can he do that this year?
At a high level, the way they need it,
it's tough.
It's going to be tough. Over time, year, two, yeah, because he'll have a whole summer to actually work on being a point guard for the first time in his life. Okay, but it tells you how talented the kid is because, he's still learning. He's a work in progress. He, being demanded to play defense for the first time in your life, that's new. Being able to read defenses and do what needs to be done at this level, that's new. And then now you're putting on becoming a legit backup point guard. He could be serviceable like the rest of them, Allen, but a pure backup point guard, that's just not who he is. Guys like that become point guards in the NBA, but not in college, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So at the level that we need a backup point guard to be, okay, this is not time to be experimenting now that the SEC is coming along and you've already tried it and you see that you can't score as well when, Lowe's not out there. So, you're trying to get somebody to be somebody that he's not. He's used to looking at the basket, Allen, and that's a natural thing for him. He is a natural born scorer. So there's going to be times that you got a guy who's dominating the ball and should be making somebody else better, but a natural instinct is for him to jack one up. Your offense is not going to look as good, and he's not going to be as fun to play with as a player. You got other scores on the floor.
So you're suggesting what the popular opinion is the hope of this season for Kentucky rests upon one shoulder.
I call him PG-15.
Why PG-15?
PG, because point guard number 15. If he's healthy and ready, we got a chance. If he's not healthy, and it's just we've seen it already. You've seen it.
Yeah.
You've seen it. You've seen what it looks like. Even the game against Bellarmine, that didn't look good.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. And matter of fact, if he was 100% healthy, I think Kentucky would be in definitely a group
Kentucky
of 5
be a top 5 team in the country.
Oh, absolutely. One of 5 or 6 teams that could easily win
and
a
you want to
national.
know what else, Allen? You want to know what else about him? He's so fun to watch. How shifty he is. I mean, he's just a natural today's day point guard. He's a jewel coming off ball screens. He knows how to snake you real good. He knows how to keep you on his back. He can finish at the rim. Now he's starting to feel comfortable with getting you on your heels and step back for a three. Woof. And he can dime you and make everybody, it's so much fun to play with him. All you got to do is get to where you need to get to. And he's going to get it to you.
I haven't heard
unfortunate that he's. Huh?
I haven't heard the term snake you in a long time.
He's a jewel at it. He's one of the best.
It's an old school expression for a point guard. I remember it as a kid, but I haven't heard it forever. But he's got a shakeability about him. If he was healthy, he'd be just ridiculously good.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, you'd be worried about him. Forget about anybody else. Control low. How are we going to guard him on the ball screen? Are we going to trap him, get it out of his hands? How are we going to do? Are we going to switch it? Oh, no. Can we drop coverage? Or if you drop coverage, he's just going to kill you with the floater. I mean, I like watching him play. I just hate that he's hurt and he can't be him for the total duration, you know. And it takes a point guard, you know, and he gets his rhythm, and a point guard plays on rhythm. So playing this game, not that game, playing this game, not that game, you know. Then sooner or later, that show is going to continue to get so bad that you shine away from what makes you good.
I agree. Like I said, if he's healthy, they're in a group of 5 or 6 teams to win a national championship. But
no doubt about
how he got hurt after 7 seconds, and I went back and looked at it again. It was like it was a nothing hit, but you can hit somebody the wrong way. And by the way, the kid's tough, so I'm not questioning that at all. Not at all. But that shows you how delicate the shoulder is. If that could be such a minor hit that it knocked you out for that long, and you came back, That to me was huge. It'd be one thing if you take a hard shot and you bounce up and you sit out for 10 minutes, but that shows you has nothing to do with his toughness. That shows everything about how tenuous and fluid that shoulder is. That's all.
I don't know for sure, but if I'm a guessing man, it is the same exact injury that Lamont Butler had.
Yeah, I don't know.
And my son, I know the labrum, and it's just painful, man. I mean, the doctor tell you can tough it out as much as you can, but it's gonna pop out, and it don't take much. And depend on how big the tear is. We don't even know how big the tear is.
Right. And this is what I know. I've had 2 total reconstructive surgeries done on my shoulder. I mean, labrum, bicep, rotator cuff, 5 tendons, the first one. Okay, so I know a little bit about shoulders, and this is what I do know. I absolutely know beyond a shadow of a doubt, that if you have a tear, it never gets better. And if you have a tear and you play with it, it can only get worse. I took a lot of heat from the Reds a long time ago. Sean Casey had a bad shoulder, and he decided to play through it. And they said he had a slight tear. And I go on radio, and I go crazy. I said, I guarantee you, when he has surgery done in the offseason, it's going to be much worse than now. It's going to be much worse than I thought, and it's going to be much tougher rehab. And by the way, he really was never the same after that. And then after the surgery came out, they said, this tear was much worse than you thought. You're swinging a baseball bat, and you got a little tear in your shoulder. And they hurt his career by him saying, I'm going to tough it out for the next 3 months. No, you get the surgery done next week. And therefore, maybe you're 100% by spring training because you have an extra 3 months to rehab. And the stupidity of some of these clubs is it's just ridiculous. If he has a labrum tear, and I don't know what it is, I don't know what it is. I do know it was suggested he has surgery. That's pretty obvious when Pope said he's going to take another swing at it. That means basically it's getting down the swing, and if it gets worse, we'll have it done. The kid wants to play. He's tough. I respect all that. But you have a tear, it can only tear worse. It doesn't heal itself.
You're right. It does not heal itself. That is one piece of ligament or whatever that does not.
All right, Sean, you can come on the air now and tell the world you guarantee that Scott County is going to win the Sweet 16 in your first year. Come on.
No, we're not doing that, Alan. We're not doing that.
I can't believe you're so negative about your team, saying you can't do something.
We're not doing all that, Alan.
Hey, you're going to have a great year.
We're not doing all that.
I have a lot of faith in you. You're going to have a great year. I just couldn't resist.
I know it. I appreciate you, man. You need to come out and see us, too.
I will. As a matter of fact, I'll look at the schedule tonight.
Okay. You got one. I sent it to you, so you have no excuses, my man.
Well, first of all, you never sent me anything. Second of all, I can look on the KHSAA site. You never sent me anything.
I didn't send it. I thought I sent it to you.
No, I promise
I'll send it to you right now.
Okay.
When we get up, I'll send it to you right now.
Sean, I hate to say this on my radio show, but you are the best. See, everybody will say I really like you, and that's going to ruin my reputation with you.
Hey, you're the best too, Buzz. No doubt about it, big dog.
Hey, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I appreciate your friendship tremendously.
Ditto, buddy. Ditto.
All right, man. Sean Woods, the great Sean Woods. He was actually kind of nice to me today. Did you notice that? For him?
Yeah, it's weird. He must still be in the holiday mood.
I think so. He's probably hanging the phone.
Wait till next week.
Why was I so nice to Cutler? And by the way, I'm not being negative towards the team at all. I just think it's tenuous. Sean, we'll just do this live. I should take it to 55 because we're going to a bowl game. What bowl game are we going at 2 o'clock? Tell the world.
Birmingham Bowl. It is Georgia Southern versus Appalachian State. So, one of the more important ones.
You didn't sound sincere when you That was really reeking with a tremendous amount of sarcasm.
No, it's going to be a great game that we have to carry in order to get the title.
What title is that?
The national title game.
Wow. Shut your mic off. Thank you, Sean. Coming up tomorrow, one of the guests will be the one, the only Roger Harton, who's a great guest, and he would like to do the show more often, but he's got to work for a living in teaching. So because he's off, he will join us tomorrow. Also, Mark Pope is live at noon, and when he's live at noon, when Stoops is live at noon, and if Stein goes live at noon o'clock, 12 o'clock. My throat is really dry. 12 o'clock, we will take it live. So we will have Pope live tomorrow. And I wonder if we'll have some insight as to how some of the players are working since they've gotten some time off. And to me, the number one question is, Chandler, did you find your jump shot for Christmas? And there's a whole lot of questions right now, and that's really good. And hopefully Lowe's shoulder gets stronger and stronger. Have a great day. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM.
Ho, ho, ho.
What are you doing, Uncle Rick?
Looking at these.
So we cutting a promo? Can we do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
I still haven't heard a promo in about 2 months, by the way. Swear to you.
I know it's played quite a bit over the past 5 days, the one you did on
Okay.
Monday.
I honestly have not listened to radio much in the last 5 days, so I can't lie. And if it's in the morning, I'm watching TV in the morning. So that I can tell you.
It does run heavier in the morning than it does in the afternoon.
3, 2, 1. Hi, this is Alan Cutler at 1300 AM and 92.5 FM, also live anywhere in the world. Hi, this is Alan Cutler on the ESPN Sports Lexington app, live anywhere in the world for live and podcast, and on 1300 AM and 92.5 FM. Pope press conference live at noon, and the great Roger Harden. See you at noon.
All right.
Thanks, dude.
Yep.
See you, man.
See ya.